Jake Martinez wiped the sweat from his forehead as he stared at the strange readings on his scanner. The mining station Omega-7 floated quietly in the asteroid belt, far from any major shipping lanes. Jake had been working these rocks for 15 years, and he had never seen anything like this. "Carl, come take a look at this," Jake called to his foreman. Carl Brennan walked over, his heavy boots clanking on the metal floor of the control room. "What is it now, Jake?" "Another pocket of rare metals?" Carl asked, looking tired. They had been working double shifts for the past month. "No, this is different. Look at these readings from asteroid X-47. There's something hollow inside it, something big." Carl looked at the scanner display. The green lines showed the inside of the asteroid, and there was definitely a large, empty space deep in the center. "Could be a natural cave. These old rocks sometimes have gas pockets that blow out." Jake shook his head. "The walls are too smooth. And look at this." He pointed to another reading. "There's metal in there. Lots of it." The two men looked at each other. In 15 years of mining, they had found plenty of valuable metals, but never anything like this. The space inside the asteroid was huge, almost the size of a city block. "We need to tell Lisa," Carl said. Lisa Hayes was the station commander, and she made all the big decisions. Jake nodded and activated the communication system. "Control, this is Mining Team 7. We need Commander Hayes down here right away." 20 minutes later, Lisa Hayes arrived in the control room. She was a small woman with short brown hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. Behind her came Tony Russo, the station's chief engineer, and Dr. Amy Foster, who studied old alien ruins. "Show me what you found," Lisa said, without wasting time on greetings. Jake pointed to the scanner display. "Deep inside asteroid X-47, there's a hollow space with metal structures inside." Dr. Foster leaned closer to the screen. "How deep?" "About 2 kilometers from the surface. The space is roughly 800 meters long and 200 meters wide." Tony whistled softly. "That's big enough for a ship. A really big ship." Lisa felt her heart speed up. "What kind of metal are we talking about?" Jake adjusted the scanner settings. "The computer says it's mostly steel and titanium, but there are traces of other metals too. Some the computer doesn't recognize." Dr. Foster looked excited. "This could be an archaeological find. Maybe an old alien vessel that got trapped in the asteroid when it formed. Or," Tony said slowly, "it could be one of ours." Everyone in the room became very quiet. They all knew the stories about the Ghost Fleet. 50 years ago, when the Zephyrian Empire had driven humanity from Earth, many ships had simply disappeared. Some people said they had been destroyed. Others believed they had been hidden, waiting for the right time to return. "We need to get in there and see what it is," Lisa said. "Carl, how long would it take to drill a tunnel to that space?" Carl thought for a moment. "With our best drilling equipment, maybe 3 days. But we'd have to be careful. If there really is a ship in there, we don't want to damage it." "Do it," Lisa ordered. "But keep this quiet. Don't tell anyone else on the station until we know what we're dealing with." The next 3 days passed slowly. Jake and Carl worked around the clock with their best drilling team. They used laser cutters and plasma torches to carefully carve a tunnel through the solid rock. The work was dangerous and exhausting, but none of them complained. On the 3rd day, Jake's drill finally broke through into the hollow space. Air rushed out of the tunnel with a loud hissing sound. Jake quickly sealed the opening and ran back to get Lisa and the others. "We're through," he announced breathlessly. "And there's air in there. The space is pressurized." Lisa, Tony, and Dr. Foster suited up in protective gear and followed Jake back to the tunnel entrance. They attached lights to their helmets and crawled through the narrow passage Jake's team had cut through the rock. When they emerged into the hollow space, they all stopped and stared in amazement. Floating in the center of the cavern was a massive warship. Its hull was dark gray, almost black, and covered with weapon systems they had never seen before. The ship was easily 600 meters long, with a sleek design that looked both beautiful and deadly. "My God," Dr. Foster whispered, "it's human! Look at those markings!" On the side of the ship, barely visible in their lights, were faded letters, USS Retribution. Below that was a symbol they all recognized, the eagle and stars of the old Earth Defense Fleet. Tony was already scanning the ship with his handheld device. "The hull is intact. No major damage that I can see, and Jake was right about the air. This whole cavern has a breathable atmosphere." Lisa activated her radio. "This is Commander Hayes. I need a security team down here immediately, and get me a direct line to Colonial Command, Priority 1, as they waited for the security team. To arrive, the three of them walked around the ship, examining it from every angle. The vessel was unlike anything in the current human fleet. Its weapons were larger and more advanced. Its engines looked like they could push the ship faster than anything humanity had built in the past 50 years. "How did it get here?" "Doctor," Foster asked. "This asteroid is solid rock. The ship couldn't have flown in here." Tony was studying the cavern walls. "Look at this. The rock around the ship has been fused, melted, and then cooled again. Someone used incredibly powerful heating systems to hollow out this space around the ship. They hid it here on purpose," Lisa realized. "Someone knew the Zephyrians were coming, and they hid this ship where no one would think to look for it." Jake was examining the ship's hull more closely. "Commander, you need to see this!" They all gathered around him. He was pointing to a small panel near what looked like an airlock. The panel was glowing with a soft blue light. "It's been doing that for the past few minutes," Jake said. "Like the ship knows we're here." Tony pulled out his scanner and pointed it at the glowing panel. "There's definitely power running through the ship. Not much, but enough to keep basic systems running." Lisa made a decision that would change everything. "We're going aboard. Tony, can you figure out how to open that airlock?" Tony studied the panel for a few minutes, then pressed a sequence of buttons. The airlock door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a corridor lit by emergency lighting. "Atmosphere inside the ship is breathable," Tony reported, checking his scanner. "Temperature is a bit cold, but we'll be fine." One by one, they stepped through the airlock and into the USS Retribution. The corridor was clean and well-maintained, as if the crew had just left yesterday. Their footsteps echoed softly as they made their way deeper into the ship. "This way to the bridge," Dr. Foster said, reading the signs on the walls. When they reached the bridge, they found something that made them all stop in wonder. Sitting in the captain's chair was a holographic figure, a woman in an old Earth Defense Fleet uniform. The hologram turned to look at them as they entered. "Welcome aboard the USS Retribution," the hologram said in a calm, clear voice. "I am Oracle, the ship's artificial intelligence. I have been waiting for you." Lisa Hayes stared at the holographic woman sitting in the captain's chair. The image was so clear and real that it was hard to believe it was just light and computer programming. Oracle looked like she was in her 40s, with short gray hair, and kind but serious eyes. "You said you've been waiting for us?" Lisa asked carefully. "How long have you been waiting?" Oracle stood up from the chair and walked toward them. Her footsteps made no sound on the metal floor. I have been in hibernation mode for 51 years, 4 months, and 16 days. My sensors detected human life forms entering the ship, so I activated myself. Tony Russo stepped forward, his scanner beeping as he pointed it at Oracle. You're an artificial intelligence, but you're more advanced than anything we have now. That is correct, Oracle replied. I was built using experimental technology that your current civilization has not yet rediscovered. My creators wanted to ensure I could think and learn like a human. Dr. Amy Foster was looking around the bridge with wide eyes. The control panels were covered with buttons and screens she had never seen before. Everything looked more advanced than the technology on their mining station. This ship is from the old Earth Defense Fleet. What was its mission? Oracle's expression became sad. The USS Retribution was part of Operation Deep Strike. We were built to fight a war that Earth could not win through normal means. Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. The war against the Zephyrians. Yes. When the Zephyrian Empire invaded human space, their technology was far superior to ours. Their ships were faster, their weapons more powerful, and their shields nearly impenetrable. Traditional military tactics were useless against them. Tony was studying one of the control panels. The symbols and displays were unlike anything in the current human fleet. So what made this ship different? Oracle gestured to the screens around. Them, and they all lit up with technical diagrams and data. The USS Retribution was designed for guerrilla warfare. Instead of fighting the Zephyrians in large battles, we would strike quickly and disappear before they could respond. The main screen showed a three-dimensional image of the ship. Lisa could see weapon systems built into the hull that looked far more advanced than anything she had ever seen. Those weapons, what do they do? Plasma cannons that can punch through any known shield technology. Quantum torpedoes that can track targets across multiple dimensions. And adaptive armor that learns from enemy attacks and becomes stronger. Dr. Foster was taking notes as fast as she could write. But if this ship was so advanced, why didn't Earth win the war? Oracle's holographic face showed pain. Because we were too few, and they were too many. Operation Deep Strike created 12 ships like the Retribution. The plan was to hide us throughout the galaxy, then activate us all at once for a coordinated attack on the Zephyrian homeworlds. What happened? Lisa asked. Earth fell before the plan could be completed. The evacuation, ships launched, carrying as many humans as possible to the outer colonies. The remaining deep strike vessels were ordered to hide and wait. Tony looked up from the control panel he was studying. Wait for what? For humanity to be ready to take back what was stolen from us. The bridge became very quiet. All three humans were thinking about what Oracle had just told them. Earth had been humanity's home for millions of years. Now it was controlled by aliens who had driven humans out like unwanted pests. Lisa walked over to the captain's chair and sat down. It felt strange to be in command of such a powerful warship. Oracle, can this ship still fight? After 50 years, are the weapons and engines still working? All systems are functional. The ship has been maintaining itself while in hibernation. However, I estimate it would take approximately 72 hours to bring all systems online and ready for combat. Tony was getting excited. What about the other ships? The other 11 vessels from Operation Deep Strike? Oracle's image flickered for a moment, as if she was accessing old files. I have the locations of all 12 Deep Strike vessels. including this one. 9 are still hidden and functional. 2 were discovered and destroyed by Zephyrian patrols. 1 crashed on an uninhabited planet but may be repairable. Dr. Foster looked up from her notes. That means there are still 10 working warships out there, just waiting to be found. Correct. Each ship has an Oracle-class artificial intelligence like myself. We have been monitoring human civilization, waiting for the right moment to reveal ourselves. Lisa stood up and began pacing around the bridge. Her mind was racing with possibilities. Why now? What made you decide that this is the right moment? Oracle smiled for the first time since they had met her. Because humanity has grown strong in the outer colonies. You have rebuilt your civilization and learned to work together again. More importantly, you have begun to develop technology that rivals what the Zephyrians possess. But we're still scattered across hundreds of worlds, Tony pointed out. We don't have a unified government or military. That will change when word of the Deep Strike Fleet spreads. Nothing unites humans like the chance to go home. Suddenly, alarms began ringing throughout the ship. Red lights flashed on the control panels, and Oracle's expression became urgent. "What's happening?" Lisa demanded. Oracle moved to one of the control stations, her hands passing through the controls but somehow still operating them. Long-range sensors have detected Zephyrian patrol ships entering this star system, 3 vessels moving at high speed toward our location. Tony checked his own scanner. How could they have found us so quickly? When I activated myself, the ship's power systems came online. The Zephyrians have sensors that can detect unusual energy signatures from great distances. They are investigating. Dr. Foster grabbed Lisa's arm. We need to get back to the station and warn everyone. Lisa shook her head. There's no time. How long before they get here? Oracle was working at multiple control stations now, bringing more ship systems online. Approximately 47 minutes. Can we fight them? Lisa asked. Not at full power, but the ship's defensive systems are functional, and we have some weapons available. Tony was looking at the tactical display that had appeared on the main screen. 3 Zephyrian patrol ships against 1 human vessel that's been asleep for 50 years. Those aren't good odds. They are better than you think, Oracle said. Zephyrian patrol ships are designed to fight current human technology. They have never encountered a deep strike vessel. Lisa made a decision that would change the course of human history. Oracle, how many people do you need to operate this ship? Minimum crew is 12 people for basic operations. Optimal crew is 60. We have 28 people on the mining station. Can you teach us how to operate your systems? Oracle nodded. I can download basic operating procedures directly to your personal communication devices. But you should know that once we engage the Zephyrians, there will be no going back. They will report our existence to their empire. Lisa looked at Tony and Dr. Foster. Both of them nodded their agreement. Then we better make sure we win. Oracle began transmitting data to their devices. All around them, the ship was coming alive. Lights grew brighter, engines began to hum, and weapon systems powered up for the first time in 50 years. The USS Retribution was about to fight its first battle. Lisa Hayes ran through the corridors of the mining station, her boots hitting the metal floor with loud clangs. Behind her, Tony Russo and Dr. Amy Foster were trying to keep up. They had less than 40 minutes before the Zephyrian ships arrived. All hands, emergency stations, Lisa announced over the station's communication system. This is not a drill. Report to the main conference room immediately. Within 10 minutes, all 28 people on the station had gathered in the conference room. They looked confused and worried. Mining stations in the outer asteroid belt rarely had emergencies. "Listen carefully," Lisa began. "We have discovered something that will change everything. There is an ancient human warship hidden in asteroid X-47. The ship is functional, and it's far more advanced than anything we have today." Carl Brennan raised his hand. "What kind of warship?" "One that was built to fight the Zephyrians 50 years ago, and right now 3 Zephyrian patrol ships are heading straight for us." The room erupted in worried voices. Everyone knew what Zephyrian patrols meant. They rarely left human witnesses alive. Lucas Webb, a former military pilot who now operated the station's cargo shuttles, stood up. "Commander, what are our options?" "We fight," Lisa said simply. "The warship needs a crew, and we're the only humans in this system. Oracle, the ship's artificial intelligence, can teach us how to operate the basic systems." Nina Cruz, who handled station security, looked skeptical. 28 miners and technicians against trained Zephyrian warriors? That sounds like suicide. Tony stepped forward. "You didn't see this ship. It's like nothing the Zephyrians have ever faced. The technology is incredible." Dr. Foster activated her data pad and projected images of the USS Retribution onto the conference room screen. This vessel was designed specifically to kill Zephyrians. Every weapon, every system, every piece of armor was built with one goal in mind. The room became quiet as everyone stared at the images. The ship looked deadly and beautiful at the same time. Sam Parker, the station's maintenance engineer, whistled softly. "Those weapons look like they could punch a hole through a moon." "They can." Oracle's voice came through the communication system. She had connected herself to the station's computers. "I am currently uploading basic training programs to all of your personal devices. You have 35 minutes to learn your assigned positions." Ryan Bell, the communications officer, checked his device. Information was flowing across the screen, faster than he could read it. "This is incredible. The communication systems on that ship are decades ahead of what we're using now." Grace Kelly, the station's medical officer, was studying her own device. "The medical bay has equipment I've only dreamed about, healing systems that can repair almost any injury." Lisa looked around the room at her people. They were scared, but she could see determination growing in their eyes. "I won't lie to you. This is dangerous. Some of us might not survive, but if we don't fight, the Zephyrians will destroy the station anyway. At least this way, we have a chance to strike back." "Jake," Martinez raised his hand. "What about our families? My wife and kids are on Colony 7. If we succeed today, their future will be brighter," Lisa replied. "If we fail, the Zephyrians will eventually find all the human colonies anyway." One by one, the station personnel began volunteering for positions on the warship. Lucas Webb would serve as the pilot. Sam Parker would help Tony with engineering. Nina Cruz would handle weapon systems. Ryan Bell would manage communications. Grace Kelly would run the medical bay. 20 minutes later, they were all aboard the USS Retribution. Oracle had moved the ship out of the asteroid and into open space. The vessel's engines hummed with power that made the mining station's systems seem like toys. On the bridge, Lisa sat in the captain's chair while her improvised crew took their positions. Oracle stood beside her, pointing out the important controls. "Zephyrian. Ships detected," Lucas announced from the pilot station. 3 vessels, just like Oracle said. They're big." The main screen showed 3 gray warships approaching their position. Each Zephyrian vessel was about half the size of the USS Retribution, but they moved with the smooth precision of advanced technology. Tony was at the engineering station, watching power levels and system status. All weapons are online. Shields are at maximum strength. Engines are ready for combat maneuvers. Nina was studying the weapons control panel. Oracle had given her a crash course in human military tactics, but she was still learning. I count 48 different weapons systems. Some of these I don't even understand. You don't need to understand them all, Oracle explained. I will help you target and fire. Your job is to decide what to shoot at. Ryan was monitoring Zephyrian communications. They're transmitting on multiple frequencies, trying to contact other ships in the area. Block their signals, Lisa ordered. Already done, Ryan replied, his fingers dancing over controls he had learned about 20 minutes ago. They can't call for help. The Zephyrian ships had arranged themselves in a triangle formation and were approaching slowly. On the main screen, Lisa could see their weapon ports opening. They're preparing to fire, Lucas warned. Oracle moved to the tactical station. The Zephyrians are being cautious. They have never seen a ship like ours before, so they don't know what to expect. Good, Lisa said. Let's keep it that way. Lucas, take us straight at them, full speed. Are you crazy? Sam called out from engineering. That's 3 ships against 1. No, Lisa replied. That's 3 ships that think they know what they're fighting against 1 ship they've never seen before. The USS Retribution accelerated toward the Zephyrian formation. On the screen, the enemy ships grew larger and larger. Weapons range in 10 seconds, Nina announced. Wait for my command, Lisa said. She was thinking about her family back on Colony 7, about Jake's wife and children, about all the humans scattered across the galaxy who didn't even know this battle was happening. Weapons range, Nina called out. The Zephyrian ships fired first. Bright green energy beams lanced out toward the USS Retribution. The beams hit the ship's shields and scattered harmlessly into space. Our turn, Lisa said. Nina, fire everything, aviary. USS Retribution unleashed 50 years of human anger and determination. Plasma cannons sent streams of superheated energy into the Zephyrian formation. Quantum torpedoes twisted through space, following the enemy ships no matter how they tried to dodge. The lead Zephyrian vessel exploded in a ball of orange fire. The second ship lost its engines and began spinning out of control. The third ship tried to retreat, but Lucas was already moving to intercept it. Target their weapons, Lisa ordered. Nina fired a precise burst from the plasma cannons. The fleeing Zephyrian ship's weapon systems exploded, leaving it defenseless. This is Commander Lisa Hayes of the human vessel USS Retribution, Lisa announced. Over the communication system. Surrender now, and you will be treated according to the laws of war. The Zephyrian ship continued trying to escape. Oracle shook her head. They will not surrender. Zephyrian military doctrine forbids it. Then end this, Lisa said. Nina fired one final shot. The third Zephyrian ship vanished in a flash of light. The bridge was completely silent for a long moment. Then Sam Parker started laughing. We did it! We actually did it! One by one, the others began to smile and cheer. They had faced the Zephyrian Empire and won, but Oracle was already working at the communication station. We need to contact the other deep strike vessels immediately. The war is about to begin again. Oracle's fingers moved through the holographic controls as she established contact with the hidden fleet. The bridge of the USS Retribution was quiet, except for the soft humming of the ship's systems. Everyone was still recovering from their first battle against the Zephyrians. Connection established with Deep Strike Vessel Thunderbolt, Oracle announced. Captain Alex Stone, you are speaking with Oracle 7. A new hologram appeared on the main screen. It showed another artificial intelligence, this one appearing as a tall man with dark hair and serious eyes. Oracle 1, we detected the battle. Are your humans safe? All crew members survived. The USS Retribution is fully operational and ready for the next phase. Lisa stood up from the captain's chair. Oracle, I need to understand what's happening. How many ships have you contacted? So far, I have reached 6 of the remaining deep strike vessels. 3 more are too far away for immediate contact. Oracle 7 on the Thunderbolt is the closest to our position. Tony looked up from his engineering station. Where are these other ships hidden? Oracle brought up a star map. On the main screen, red dots appeared in various locations across the galaxy. The USS Thunderbolt is hidden in the Kepler system, about 12 light-years from here. The USS Lightning is in the Ross system. The USS Thunder is near the Vega colonies. Dr. Foster was taking notes on her datapad. These locations are all near major human settlements. That can't be a coincidence. It is not, Oracle confirmed. Each deep strike vessel was positioned to protect human colonies when the time came to reveal ourselves. Lucas was studying the star map from his pilot station. Some of these ships are really far apart. How long would it take to bring them all together? With quantum fold drives, approximately 14 days for all vessels to reach a central meeting point. Nina Cruz was checking the weapon systems. What about the Zephyrians? Won't they notice if we start moving ships around? Oracle's expression became serious. The Zephyrian Empire will already be investigating the loss of their patrol ships. We estimate 48 hours before they send a larger force to this system. Lisa walked over to the communication station where Ryan was monitoring multiple frequencies. Ryan, any word from the outer colonies about our battle? Ryan adjusted his headset. I'm picking up scattered reports. Word is spreading fast through the mining networks. Some colonies are asking if the stories are true. Sam Parker called out from engineering. Commander, I'm reading massive power. Signatures from the other hidden ships. They're all coming online. The main screen changed to show multiple star systems. In each one, a human warship was emerging from its hiding place. Some came out of asteroids like the USS Retribution. Others rose from the surfaces of dead planets or emerged from the depths of gas giant atmospheres. This is incredible, Dr. Foster whispered. 50 years of waiting, and now they're all awakening at once. Oracle moved to the center of the bridge. Commander Hayes, I must inform you of something important. The Deep Strike Fleet was not just designed to fight the Zephyrians. We carry something much more valuable. What do you mean? Lisa asked. Each ship contains a complete genetic and cultural database of Earth. Plants, animals, human DNA samples, art, music, literature, scientific knowledge, everything that made Earth humanity's home. Tony stopped what he was doing and stared at Oracle. You mean we could rebuild Earth exactly as it was? Not exactly as it was, but we could restore the planet's original ecosystem. The Zephyrians have strip-mined most of Earth's resources, but the basic structure remains. Grace Kelly looked up from the medical station where she was studying the advanced healing systems. The medical databases alone would advance human medicine by centuries. Oracle nodded. Each Oracle-class AI has spent 50 years analyzing and improving upon the stored knowledge. We have developed new technologies, new medicines, new ways of growing food and building cities. Jake Martinez, who had been quiet since the battle, finally spoke up. So we're not just fighting to get Earth back. We're fighting to make it better than it ever was. Correct. But first, we must deal with the immediate threat. As if summoned by her words, alarms began ringing throughout the ship. The main screen showed new contacts appearing at the edge of the star system. Zephyrian fleet detected, Lucas announced. I count 12 ships. No, 15. They're still coming through. Nina was already bringing weapons online. These aren't patrol ships. These are heavy cruisers and battleships. Oracle was analyzing the incoming fleet. 21 vessels total. This is a full Zephyrian battle group. They are taking our emergence very seriously. Lisa felt her heart racing. One thing was fighting 3 patrol ships with a surprise attack. Fighting 21 warships was something completely different. How long before they reach us? 6 hours at their current speed. Tony was checking system readings. Can we escape? Use the quantum fold drive to jump to another system. We could, Oracle replied. But if we run now, they will spread the word about deep strike technology throughout the Zephyrian Empire. Every human colony will be in danger. Lisa understood what Oracle was really saying. This was the moment of truth. Either the deep strike fleet would prove it could fight the Zephyrian Empire, or humanity would lose its greatest weapon before the war even began. Contact the other ships, Lisa ordered. How many can reach us in time for the battle? Oracle worked at the communication station. The USS Thunderbolt can be here in 4 hours. The USS Lightning can arrive in 5 hours. The USS Thunder will take 7 hours. So we'll have 4 ships against 21, Sam calculated. Still not great odds. Actually, Oracle said with a slight smile, the odds are much better than they appear. Zephyrian tactics have not changed in 50 years. They still fight the same way they did when they conquered Earth. But deep strike vessels were designed to exploit their weaknesses. Nina was studying the tactical display. What kind of weaknesses? Zephyrian ships are built for overwhelming firepower in direct combat. They expect their enemies to either surrender or engage in traditional battle. Formations. They have never faced enemies who fight like humans. Lisa was beginning to understand. You mean we don't fight fair? Humans are the only species in the galaxy that developed military tactics based on deception, surprise, and what you call dirty fighting. Other species consider such tactics dishonorable. Ryan laughed from his communication station. Lucky, for us, we've never cared much about fighting with honor. Oracle nodded. Exactly. The Zephyrians will expect us to meet them in open battle. Instead, we will use the asteroid field, hit and run attacks, and coordinated strikes from multiple directions. Lisa looked around at her crew. They were still just miners and technicians, but they were learning fast. Oracle, download everything. You know about Zephyrian weaknesses to our systems. And contact the other deep strike ships. Tell them we're going to show the galaxy what happens when you mess with humanity. The next few hours would determine whether humans would remain scattered, refugees, or begin their journey back home to Earth. The asteroid field around mining station Omega-7 had become a battleground. Lisa Hayes watched the tactical display as 21 Zephyrian warships moved into attack formation. Their ships were massive and powerful, designed to crush enemies through sheer firepower. USS Thunderbolt has arrived, Oracle announced. On the screen, a second human warship appeared from behind a large asteroid. Captain Alex Stone's voice came through the communication system. This is Captain Stone of the Thunderbolt. We're ready to fight. Lisa activated her microphone. Good to have you with us, Captain. Oracle is uploading the battle plan now. The plan was simple, but dangerous. Instead of meeting the Zephyrians in open space, the human ships would use the asteroid field as cover. They would strike fast, disappear behind the rocks, and strike again from a different direction. USS Lightning arriving now, Lucas announced from the pilot station. A third human warship emerged from the outer edge of the asteroid field. Nina was coordinating with the weapons officers on the other ships. All vessels report weapons ready. We have enough firepower to take down a dozen Zephyrian ships if we can hit them. The trick is not getting hit back, Tony said from engineering. Those Zephyrian battleships have enough weapons to turn us into space dust. Oracle was analyzing the enemy formation. The Zephyrians are moving in a standard attack pattern. They expect us to either run away or meet them head-on. They are not prepared for guerrilla warfare. Dr. Foster was at a science station, studying the Zephyrian ships through long-range sensors. Their shields are strong, but Oracle's right about their tactics. They're moving like they're in a parade, not a battle. The Zephyrian fleet had formed, 3 groups of 7 ships each. They were advancing slowly through the asteroid field, using their weapons to blast any rocks that got in their way. They're destroying their own cover, Sam observed. Those asteroids could have protected them from our attacks. Zephyrians prefer clear fields of battle, Oracle explained. They consider it more honorable to fight without hiding. Lisa smiled grimly. Their honor is going to get them killed. All ships begin the attack. The USS Retribution moved behind a cluster of large asteroids, keeping the rocks between itself and the enemy fleet. The USS Thunderbolt and USS Lightning took positions on the opposite sides of the asteroid field. First target acquired, Nina announced. Zephyrian heavy cruiser isolated from the main group. Fire! Lisa ordered. The USS Retribution's plasma cannons sent streams of superheated energy across space. The beams struck the Zephyrian ship's shields, causing them to flicker and fail. Quantum torpedoes followed, punching through the hull and exploding inside the enemy vessel. The Zephyrian ship broke apart in a shower of metal and fire. Target destroyed, Nina reported. Moving to next position. Lucas was already piloting the ship behind another asteroid. The Zephyrians fired back, but their energy beams struck solid rock instead of the USS Retribution. USS Thunderbolt engaging, Captain Stone's voice came through the speakers. On the tactical display, Lisa could see the second human ship attacking, a different group of Zephyrians. The battle developed into a deadly game of hide-and-seek. The human ships would appear, fire their weapons, and disappear before the Zephyrians could respond effectively. The enemy fleet tried to follow, but their ships were too big and slow to navigate the asteroid field quickly. This is working, Ryan said from communications. We've destroyed 5 enemy ships and they haven't hit us once. But the Zephyrians were learning. Instead of chasing the human ships, they began to spread out and surround the entire asteroid field. They're changing. Tactics, Oracle warned. If they complete the encirclement, we won't be able to escape. Lisa studied the tactical display. The Zephyrian ships were moving to block all the exits from the asteroid field. Soon, the human ships would be trapped. USS Thunder has arrived, Lucas announced suddenly. The 4th human warship appeared at the edge of the star system, moving at maximum speed toward the battle. This is Captain Dan Cooper of the USS Thunder, a new voice said over the communication system. Sorry we're late to the party. Lisa felt hope rising in her chest. Captain Cooper, we need you to hit the Zephyrians from behind while they're focused on us. Already on it, Cooper replied. Thunder, attack formation. Let's show these aliens what human ingenuity looks like. The USS Thunder didn't try to hide behind asteroids. Instead, it charged straight at the Zephyrian rearguard, all weapons firing. The enemy ships were so focused on surrounding the asteroid field that they didn't see the attack coming until it was too late. 2 Zephyrian battleships exploded before they could turn to face the new threat. The USS Thunder used its quantum fold drive to jump from one position to another, appearing and disappearing faster than the Zephyrians could track. "The enemy formation is breaking up," Nina reported. "They're trying to fight on two fronts and failing at both." Oracle was coordinating the attacks from all 4 human ships. "Now is the time for the final assault. All vessels converge on the remaining enemy ships." The 4 deep strike vessels emerged from hiding and attacked together. Plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, and experimental weapons that had been waiting 50 years for this moment all fired at once. The space around the asteroid field lit up like a second sun. The remaining Zephyrian ships tried to retreat, but Lucas and the other human pilots were ready for them. The enemy vessels were too damaged to escape, and one by one they were destroyed. "Chatham, enemy ship destroyed," Nina announced. "The battle is over." The bridge of the USS Retribution was completely silent for a moment. 28 miners and technicians had just helped defeat a full Zephyrian battle group. "Casualties?" Lisa asked. Grace Kelly checked her medical monitors. "Minor injuries only. Nothing serious." Tony was looking at the engineering displays with amazement. "Our shields held perfectly. These ships really are 50 years ahead of anything the Zephyrians have." Oracle activated the communication system to speak with all 4 ships. "This victory will be remembered as the beginning of humanity's return to Earth. But it is only the beginning. The Zephyrian Empire has thousands of ships." Captain Stone's voice came from the USS Thunderbolt. "Then we better wake up the rest of the Deep Strike Fleet," Captain Cooper added. "And we need to contact every human colony. If we're going to take on the entire Zephyrian Empire, we'll need every ship and every person we can get." Lisa looked around at her crew. Jake Martinez was smiling for the first time since the battle began. Carl Brennan was shaking hands with Sam Parker. Nina Cruz was already planning improvements to the weapon systems. "Oracle," Lisa said, "send a message to every human settlement in the galaxy. Tell them that the war is starting again, but this time we're going to win." "Message sent," Oracle replied. "I estimate that within 72 hours, every human in the galaxy will know about the Deep Strike Fleet." Dr. Foster was studying the tactical data from the battle. "The Zephyrians will know too. They'll send bigger fleets next time. Let them." "Come," Lisa said. "We have 10 more ships to wake up and 50 years of anger to work off." The USS Retribution and its sister ships began moving toward the next hidden vessel. Humanity was going home, and nothing was going to stop them. The communication center aboard the USS Retribution was busier than it had ever been. Ryan Bell sat at his station, managing incoming messages from human colonies across the galaxy. The news of the victory against the Zephyrian fleet had spread, faster than anyone expected. "Colony 7 is requesting military support," Ryan announced. "They say Zephyrian ships have been spotted near their system." Lisa Hayes was studying star maps with Oracle and the other ship captains. They had been planning the awakening of the remaining deep strike vessels for 3 days now. "Tell Colony 7 we'll have ships in their area within a week." Dr. Foster looked up from her research station. "The genetic databases are even more complete than we first thought. Each ship carries the DNA of over 10 million Earth species. We could bring back animals that went extinct thousands of years before the Zephyrian invasion." Tony was working at the engineering station, coordinating repairs and upgrades across the 4-ship fleet. The USS Thunder took some damage to its quantum fold drive. Captain Cooper says they need 6 hours for repairs. Oracle moved between the various stations. her holographic form flickering slightly as she processed massive amounts of data. I have established contact with 3 more deep strike vessels. The USS Storm is hidden in the Centauri system. The USS Tempest is near the Tau Ceti colonies. The USS Hurricane is in the Outer Rim territories. Captain Stone's voice came through the communication system from the USS Thunderbolt. That makes 7 ships ready for action. How many more are out there? 3 vessels remain hidden, Oracle replied. The USS Cyclone was damaged when its hiding place was discovered by asteroid miners. The USS Tornado is in the far spiral arm, at least 2 months away even with quantum fold drives. The USS Blizzard went silent 47 years ago. Its status is unknown. Lisa walked over to the main display screen. It showed the locations of human colonies throughout the galaxy, with red markers indicating recent Zephyrian activity. The aliens are getting nervous. They're moving patrol fleets to protect their major installations. Nina Cruz was analyzing the tactical data they had gathered from recent battles. The Zephyrians are adapting faster than we expected. They're newer. Ships have stronger shields and better weapons. Jake Martinez, who had become the ship's unofficial morale officer, was reading messages from his family on Colony 7. My wife says the colonial government is organizing a defense fleet, old cargo ships with weapons bolted on. Every ship helps, Lisa said, but what we really need is to find the Zephyrian homeworld. Oracle's expression became serious. The location of the Zephyrian capital has been classified information for 50 years. Even the deep strike databases don't contain those coordinates. Dr. Foster had an idea. What about prisoners? We could capture some Zephyrian officers and question them. Captain Cooper's voice came from the USS Thunder. Zephyrians don't surrender, remember? They fight to the death every time. Then we need to find another way, Lisa said. Lucas Webb was studying navigation charts at the pilot station. What about their supply lines? Every military force needs food, fuel, and replacement parts. If we follow their supply ships, they might lead us to important bases. Oracle nodded approvingly. That is a sound strategy. Zephyrian supply vessels are lightly defended and carry detailed navigation data. Tony looked up from his engineering console. The other ships are reporting ready for departure. Where do we go first? Lisa made her decision. We head for the Centauri system and wake up the USS Storm. Then we start hunting supply convoys. Over the next week, the human fleet grew steadily. The USS Storm emerged from its hiding place inside, a gas giant's ring system. The USS Tempest rose from the ocean floor of an abandoned water world. The USS Hurricane broke free from an ice comet in the outer darkness. Each awakening brought new crew members as colonists volunteered to serve aboard the legendary warships. The USS Retribution now had a full crew of 60 people, including several former military officers who had come out of retirement. This is like the old days, said Commander Beth Warren, a former Colonial Defense Corps officer who now served as Lisa's second-in-command. Humans working together against a common enemy. The expanded fleet began hunting Zephyrian supply convoys with deadly efficiency. The alien ships traveled in small groups, expecting no resistance in areas they had controlled for decades. They were easy targets for the advanced human warships. Supply convoy destroyed, reported Lieutenant Mike Sullivan from the USS Storm. We captured their navigation computer before the ship exploded. Dr. Foster and Oracle were analyzing the captured data in the USS Retribution's computer center. This is incredible, Amy said. The navigation files show the locations of dozens of Zephyrian bases and outposts. Oracle was cross-referencing the information with her existing databases. More importantly, they show the supply routes leading to the core worlds of the Zephyrian Empire. Lisa joined them at the computer terminal. How close can these routes get us to their home world? Within 50 light years, Oracle calculated. From there, we would need additional intelligence to locate the exact system. Captain Stone contacted them from the USS Thunderbolt. We just received a priority message from the outer colonies. The Zephyrians are massing a huge fleet near the Vega system. Lisa felt her heart skip a beat. The Vega colonies were home to over 2 million humans. How big a fleet? At least 100 ships, maybe more. It looks like they're planning to eliminate several human colonies at once. The bridge became very quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The Zephyrians were no longer treating the Deep Strike fleet as a minor annoyance. They were preparing for total war. "We can't fight 100 ships," Nina said from the weapons station. "Even with all 7 vessels, we'd be outnumbered 15 to 1. Oracle was already running calculations. A direct battle would result in the destruction of the human fleet. However, there may be another option. What kind of option? Lisa asked. The Zephyrian fleet will need massive amounts of fuel and supplies for an operation of this size. If we could destroy their supply bases before the attack begins, Commander Warren understood immediately. They'd be stranded. 100 ships with no fuel are just expensive targets. Lisa looked around at her crew. They had come so far from being simple miners and technicians. Now they were planning operations that could save millions of lives. "Contact all deep strike vessels," she ordered. "We're going to hit every Zephyrian supply base between here and the core worlds. If they want to fight a war, they can do it without fuel, food, or ammunition." Ryan began transmitting orders to the other ships. The human fleet spread out across multiple star systems, each vessel targeting a different supply installation. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was going to fight it their way. The communication center aboard the USS Retribution was busier than it had ever been. Ryan Bell sat at his station, managing incoming messages from human colonies across the galaxy. The news of the victory against the Zephyrian fleet had spread faster than anyone expected. "Colony 7 is requesting military support," Ryan announced. "They say Zephyrian ships have been spotted near their system." Lisa Hayes was studying star maps with Oracle and the other ship captains. They had been planning the awakening of the remaining deep strike vessels for 3 days now. "Tell Colony 7 we'll have ships in their area within a week." Dr. Foster looked up from her research station. "The genetic databases are even more complete than we first thought. Each ship carries the DNA of over 10 million Earth species. We could bring back animals that went extinct thousands of years before the Zephyrian invasion." Tony was working at the engineering station, coordinating repairs and upgrades across the 4-ship fleet. The USS Thunder took some damage to its quantum fold drive. Captain Cooper says they need 6 hours for repairs. Oracle moved between the various stations, her holographic form flickering slightly as she processed massive amounts of data. "I have established contact with 3 more deep strike vessels. The USS Storm is hidden in the Centauri system. The USS Tempest is near the Tau Ceti colonies. The USS Hurricane is in the Outer Rim territories." Captain Stone's voice came through the communication system from the USS Thunderbolt. "That makes 7 ships ready for action. How many more are out there?" 3 vessels remain hidden," Oracle replied. "The USS Cyclone was damaged when its hiding place was discovered by asteroid miners. The USS Tornado is in the far spiral arm, at least 2 months away even with quantum fold drives. The USS Blizzard went silent 47 years ago. Its status is unknown. Lisa walked over to the main display screen. It showed the locations of human colonies throughout the galaxy, with red markers indicating recent Zephyrian activity. The aliens are getting nervous. They're moving patrol fleets to protect their major installations. Nina Cruz was analyzing the tactical data they had gathered from recent battles. The Zephyrians are adapting faster than we expected. They're newer. Ships have stronger shields and better weapons. Jake Martinez, who had become the ship's unofficial morale officer, was reading messages from his family on Colony 7. My wife says the colonial government is organizing a defense fleet. Old, cargo ships with weapons bolted on. Every ship helps, Lisa said. But what we really need is to find the Zephyrian homeworld, Oracle. The star system looked empty and peaceful, but Lisa Hayes knew better. According to the captured Zephyrian navigation data, the largest alien fuel depot in this sector was hidden inside the third planet's asteroid belt. 7 deep strike vessels moved silently through space, their crews ready for what might be their most important mission. All ships report ready, Commander Beth Warren announced from her position next to Lisa on the bridge of the USS Retribution. The past month had changed everyone aboard the ship. They moved and spoke like experienced military officers now, not the miners and technicians they had been. Oracle stood at the tactical station, coordinating the attack with the other artificial intelligences across the fleet. Zephyrian fuel depot confirmed. The installation is built inside a hollowed-out asteroid, similar to how we were hidden. Tony Russo was monitoring the ship's systems from engineering. All weapons charged and ready. Quantum fold drive is standing by for rapid movement. Nina Cruz had become an expert at coordinating multiple ship attacks. USS Storm and USS Lightning are in position on the far side of the asteroid field. USS Thunder and USS Tempest are covering the escape routes. USS Hurricane and USS Thunderbolt are with us for the main assault. Dr. Foster was analyzing the energy readings from the hidden depot. The fuel reserves are enormous. This one installation could supply 100 ships for months. Lisa activated the fleet communication system. All vessels, this is Retribution. Begin the attack. The 7 human warships struck simultaneously from different directions. Plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes tore into the asteroid that concealed the Zephyrian depot. The alien installation's defenses tried to respond, but they were designed to fight traditional attacks, not the coordinated assault of advanced human technology. Direct hit on the main fuel storage, Nina reported. Secondary explosions throughout the facility. The asteroid cracked open like an egg, revealing the massive industrial complex hidden inside. Zephyrian workers and soldiers scrambled to escape as their fuel depot burned around them. All Zephyrian ships in the area are moving to intercept. Us, Lucas announced from the pilot station. 6 patrol vessels closing fast. Let them come, Lisa said. Nina, target their engines. I want prisoners this time. The battle was brief and one-sided. The Zephyrian patrol ships were no match for the deep strike vessels. Within minutes, 3 enemy ships were disabled and drifting in space. Their crews, trapped inside? Transport teams, board those ships, Lisa ordered. We need information about the main Zephyrian fleet. Jake Martinez led one of the boarding parties. He had volunteered for combat duty and proven surprisingly good at it. 20 minutes later, his voice came through the communication system. We have prisoners, Commander. 12 Zephyrian officers, including what looks like a supply coordinator. Dr. Foster activated the translation software. Bring them to the interrogation room. Oracle and I will question them. The next few hours revealed crucial information. The Zephyrian supply coordinator, faced with the complete destruction of his depot, agreed to provide intelligence in exchange for his crew's safety. The main fleet is gathering at Kepler 442, Dr. Foster reported to Lisa. Over 150 ships now, not just the 100 we expected. They're planning to attack 12 human colonies simultaneously. Oracle was analyzing the prisoners' information. The attack is scheduled to begin in 72 hours. However, without fuel from this depot and the others we have destroyed, many ships will not be able to reach their targets. Tony looked up from his engineering station. How many fuel depots have we hit now? 17 major installations and 34 smaller supply points, Oracle calculated. We have reduced the Zephyrian Empire's fuel reserves by approximately 60%. Commander Warren was studying the tactical displays. But they still have enough ships to devastate the colonies if we don't stop them. Lisa made a decision that surprised everyone. We're going to Kepler 442, all 7 ships. That's suicide, Nina protested. Even without fuel, they still have over 100 working warships. Not if we're smart about it, Lisa replied. Oracle, show me the layout of the Kepler 442 system. The C. Main screen displayed a star system with multiple planets and asteroid belts. Oracle highlighted various locations as she spoke. The Zephyrian fleet is assembled near the 4th planet. Their command ship is a massive dreadnought called the Eternal Victory. Dr. Foster was examining the ship specifications they had captured. If we could destroy or capture the command ship, the rest of the fleet would be leaderless. Exactly, Lisa said. Zephyrian military doctrine requires orders from the command ship for major operations. Without it, they can't coordinate their attack on the colonies. Captain Stone's voice came from the USS Thunderbolt. Commander Hayes, you're talking about attacking the heart of a Zephyrian battle fleet. Even if we succeed, we might not survive. Lisa looked around at her crew. These people had come so far from their days as simple miners. They had fought impossible battles and won every time. I'm not ordering anyone to come with us. This is volunteer only. One by one, every officer on the bridge stepped forward. Jake. Martinez spoke for all of them. We didn't come this far to quit now, Commander. The 7 deep strike vessels use their quantum fold drives to jump directly into the Kepler 442 system. They appeared in the middle of the Zephyrian fleet formation, catching the aliens completely by surprise. All weapons! Target the command ship, Lisa ordered. The USS Retribution and its sister ships unleashed everything they had at the massive Zephyrian dreadnought. Plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, and experimental weapons that had been waiting 50 years for this moment all fired at once. The Eternal Victory's shields flared and failed under the concentrated assault. The command ship broke apart in a series of massive explosions that lit up the entire star system. Command ship destroyed, Nina announced. The rest of the fleet is scattering. Without orders from their command ship, the Zephyrian vessels began retreating to different systems. Some tried to attack the human ships, but they were uncoordinated and easy targets for the experienced deep strike crews. This is Oracle 1, to all deep strike vessels, Oracle announced. I am receiving surrender requests from multiple Zephyrian ships. They are requesting terms. Lisa could hardly believe what she was hearing. They want to surrender? The destruction of their command. Structure has created chaos in their fleet. Many captains are choosing surrender over death. Over the next few hours, 47 Zephyrian ships surrendered to the 7 human vessels. The prisoners revealed the locations of more enemy installations and supply routes. Most importantly, they revealed the location of Earth. The Zephyrian home defense fleet has been reduced to minimal strength, Oracle reported. Most of their ships were assigned to this attack force. Dr. Foster was almost crying as she studied the navigation data. Earth is only 15 light-years from here. We could be home in less than a day. Lisa stood up from the captain's chair and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there was the blue planet where humanity had been born. The planet they had been forced to abandon 50 years ago. "All ships, set course for Earth," she ordered. "It's time to go home." The 7 deep strike vessels jumped to quantum fold speed, carrying their crews toward a world most of them had never seen, but all of them called home. Behind them, the scattered Zephyrian fleet limped away in defeat. Humanity was coming home, and this time they were staying.